Excuse me, but I'm going in.
Sorry, but this is the VIP section. Members only. Okay?
Kate almost dead. Rachel dead. Enter the Vortex Club. Look at these entitled assholes. They don't give a shit about anybody. If that tornado came right now, I would just sit here and watch for a while. But I have to make sure Chloe doesn't go on her own rampage. I hate feeling this way. Dark and angry. Victoria, listen to me. Your life is in serious danger. I know Nathan is your friend, but he is truly unstable and dangerous.
I let you boss me around this one time. And I have other people I can go to for protection. Thanks for telling me this, Max.
Chloe, Nathan isn't here. Nobody has seen him tonight.
So, you made it, Max.
Oh, hey, Mr. Jefferson.
Are you both okay? You look like you're on a mission.
Oh, I was just looking for Nathan.
Uh-huh. I didn't know you were pals with him. I haven't seen him since this afternoon. Okay, excuse me. I'm almost on.
Let's get the hell out of here, Max.
Okay, everybody calm down. Thank you. I appreciate it. Look, I don't want to get in the way of the party, but it's time to announce the winner of the Everyday Heroes contest. The envelope, please. And the winner is... Come on! Oh my, what a shocker. Victoria Chase.
Victoria won. Big surprise. I can't believe she blackmailed Jefferson. Yes, I can.
Who fucking cares? Rachel is still dead, and I want Nathan's punk ass. Now!
Me too. Let's go check out the dormitories.
Oh, Christ. Nathan just texted me. He says there won't be any evidence left after he's done.
Shit. We have to go to the junkyard right now. Stop stomping around, Chloe.
Right. Just get ready to use your rewind fast if Nathan tries to jump us.
Well, that flashlight doesn't give you away. Oh boy, I guess this is where it ends here now. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I'm not looking forward to this at all.
Rachel, I will get your revenge. I swear.
What the hell? Oh, gross.
Well, nice to know we got rats in here.
Are you looking for something back there? Catch up!
Well, that's not creepy at all. Oh wait, Chloe, hold on.
Come on. Nathan needs to die now.
Oh, for God's sake, Chloe, you have to be quiet. We could die, okay?
It's so creepy out here.
Oh boy.
You're gonna suffer, Nathan. hurry! Oh god, Max, look. She's still there.
Don't look, Chloe. Oh, no.
I was afraid of this.
Chloe! Look out!
What the fuck?
Well, shit.
Chloe.
Jefferson. I was afraid that he was too good to be true. Well, good episode. I feel like the series is still on track. I was a little bit worried about episode 3 there. But well, shit. I guess once again I'll be taking a couple minutes to collect my thoughts and all that other stuff and kind of get back on track. I'll see you guys after the credits. Okay. This is perfect timing. Refuse Chloe's request. Stop Warren from beating up Nathan. No one got hurt. Victoria believed your warning. Let the blue jay die. Another bird that I let die somehow. Didn't disturb the bird's nest. Got David's files in another way. Kate helped you find Nathan's room. Don't know how you managed to trigger that, but alright. You motivated Daniel to attend the Vortex Club party. You didn't leave a message on Warren's slate. You can do that? Okay. You didn't figure out Nathan's PIN code. And you helped Alyssa. Well, shit. I guess we'll have our thrilling conclusion in the next episode. The final episode, rather, of Polarized. Okay. I'm just stunned. Honestly. And that is where we switch over to post-commentary me. I chose to do some post-commentary on this because I wanted to be a bit more cohesive about my thoughts regarding this episode, because live commentary-wise, I was stunned. This episode really got to me, and I'm apparently not the only one. A lot of people, including myself, were emotionally dead at the end of this. It took me a couple days to recover from the big reveal of Chloe being shot and Mr. Jefferson being the main villain, as far as we know at this point. But I finally have gotten over that shock. I am feeling emotions again and able to feel things, and it's quite wonderful. Because this game has that kind of power. This game is fantastic. It is also a complete testament to just how strongly people are attached to emotions, rather than logic or anything else like that. Because there are so many times where I was almost turned off by this game because of how hard it struck me, but there's that teaser where they want to show you, where they're going to show you more and reveal more, and maybe there'll be a nice conclusion to this. But yeah, it was I couldn't talk to anybody for the rest of the day. It was that bad. I was wanting to kill somebody. Cuz it kind of had that feeling of episode 3's ending, where it takes all of your choices away and seems to make them mute. Not mute, I mean moot. Where it throws you into this alternate reality, and it just feels like they took away all of what you did that felt important, and just said, here you go, you're in a new place now. And I want to talk a little bit about that, because regardless of what you do, if you go back to this timeline because you don't want to help Chloe commit suicide, or if you help Chloe commit suicide, either way, Chloe dies in this episode. I do not think that there's any way to actually save her and have her show up again in episode 5. At least not in her body and some sort of really weird time paradox shenanigans. Chloe was meant to die. That much became immediately apparent to me pretty much right here in the live commentary. Chloe was meant to die regardless of what you did. And that kind of feels a little bit loaded, I guess is the best way to put it. It was not something I was happy about. And I'm just going through here. In live commentary, I was trying to get rid of the storm that's going on in the background, but I could have just lowered the volume. Whatever. So just ignore what I'm doing back there. I don't know what else happens if you decide to help Chloe commit suicide. I imagine that you probably stay in the alternate timeline. At least for a longer period. And considering that you're a friend of Victoria and Nathan, that may seriously affect the outcome of some things. But I don't know, I haven't played that, I haven't gone through that part yet. Again, I want to kind of leave that until I go through it again with the bonus content kind of stuff. Well, it's not really bonus content, I mean, it's all there in the original episode, but here's what I didn't do kind of thing. We don't actually know about any of that since I didn't play through it. I don't know if anybody else actually chose to help Chloe commit suicide. I know there was a percentage of people that did in the stats. I don't know if there's any real playthroughs of that happening. Be interesting to see what the outcomes are. But if I had known that Chloe was going to die, regardless, I think I may have actually gone with the other option. Then again, I don't know. I really don't know. I'll just have to play through it again and find out, and show you guys that. But in this timeline, we come back, Chloe's still herself, William's dead, unfortunately, but, you know, car crash and all. So we go through Nathan's stuff. Warren shows that he is the alpha male and that he really, 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 really likes Max and wants to go out with her and probably wants to end up marrying her or something like that, considering how dedicated he is to impressing her and all this other stuff. Warren really cares, which has proved to be a boon multiple times. And I don't know if there's going to be an option to tell him off in the 5th episode, or if it's just kind of end up where Warren and Max have to be together anyway, regardless of what you do. If you decided to go with this, with the original reality, we'll find out. Considering that Rachel is missing in both timelines, and that she's found dead in this one, I imagine the same thing is going to happen in the other one as well. And I also feel like, considering that Max doesn't personally know Rachel, and that Chloe doesn't seem to know Rachel at all in the other timeline, because she says, I heard about that girl in the newspapers who's still missing. She never actually met Rachel herself, which I find kind of interesting. We would probably be investigating the same thing as before, but we would be the only ones finding Rachel. It could also end up being that we end up meeting Frank, and considering that he and Chloe likely haven't met up either, because I believe Rachel was kind of the medium between those two. Frank probably wouldn't even recognize us or Chloe. He would probably see us as... Actually, he might, though, because Frank might actually know us, but not in a way I would like. In this timeline, in the timeline I chose, Frank knows us as kind of the goofy teen girl who just isn't gonna do any sort of drug. That's just not what she's about. That's not how she works. In the other timeline, though, it may be the exact opposite. He may know us as one of the major drug addicts or drug users. So that would have been interesting to see how that played out, because we probably would have ended up going to Frank's regardless. But it would be interesting to see how that dialogue plays out. Apparently there's another ending to the Frank conversation. Well, I won't spoil it. But there's another ending to that conversation that only results if you take back the gun from him. So, just a thought. I was not happy with any of the endings except for the one where Frank really befriends us. I did not feel comfortable having him as an enemy, and I also didn't feel leaving him wounded in some way. So the ending that we had in the conversation, I think it's going to pay out big time in the next episode. It's probably really going to hurt when he hears about Rachel and Chloe, for that matter. But I think it's still going to pay out big time, considering the fact that we actually befriended him and that he actually trusts us now, even though he has a hard time taking us seriously. Because he will still have that closure about Rachel. Hopefully he doesn't freak out, because that's still a possibility. But anyway. With Mr. Jefferson and Nathan, I didn't actually mention it. I've been looking back through this footage as I've been editing, and I did a really, I won't say a poor job, but I did not reveal my innermost thoughts and feelings as I was playing through this game. That was not something I did at all. And one of the things I failed to mention was in the Vortex Club party, the End of the World party, when you run into Mr. Jefferson before he goes on stage, something seemed really off about how he was talking, but I didn't actually mention that. He sounded very kind of out of it, and caught off guard a little bit when we started asking him about Nathan. But I didn't really give it much thought, because Max and Chloe didn't give it much thought. Chloe was just on a killing spree, and Max wanted to help out Chloe and find Nathan and put a stop to all this. And it kind of threw me off. Because it's like, hey, he's acting kind of strange, but Max and Chloe don't seem to care, so I guess I won't care either. But considering that he's actually the main villain, I'm really worried about Victoria now, because not only is he the villain, but he's also the one who's taking her to the festival for the Everyday Hero contest. That's a major issue. I'm not concerned about her yet, because at some point, Jefferson managed to get to at some point between us leaving Blackwell and getting to the junkyard, Mr. Jefferson managed to get there somehow without us realizing it. And in order to do that, he had to have left Victoria in perfectly fine shape. But considering that we also found Nathan's jacket in the bunker, and also the fact that Mr. Jefferson doesn't really know where he is, supposedly, he hasn't seen him since this afternoon, I'm a little bit concerned about Nathan's fate. If you remember, back in the bunker, there was a note that we found on I think it was the computer desk, I want to say, that was in red ink handwriting. Very nice penmanship, by the way. I'll have a picture of it here, just so you guys have a reminder of what it was. Max makes a remark about that, about what the heck is going on between Nathan and his dad, kind of thing. None of the messages we have seen from Nathan's father have been handwritten. They've all been typed, they've all been either in an email, or they've been sent to him via letter. This one specifically was handwritten, and it did not have a signature. And if it wasn't for the fact that Max made that assumption, I probably wouldn't have. I probably would have wondered, why is there no signature on this? Why is this handwritten? Because Sean Prescott doesn't spend time with his son. He only hears about his son. And if that note is in fact written by Mr. Jefferson himself, the note talks about Nathan using a private phone to call, or a prepaid phone to call Mr. Jefferson instead of his actual number, and to not call him in the public. Which is kind of like an oh shit moment when you think back to the first episode. Was it the first episode? No, the second episode. When you think back to the second episode where Kate is talking to Mr. Jefferson, she runs out, we talk to Mr. Jefferson, and then he gets a phone call. And he keeps saying, this is not a good time, I need to go now, I have a class to teach, blah 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 blah. I don't remember exactly if Nathan was in the room. I kind of want to check on that. I think he was actually in the room, so it may not have been from Nathan himself. That's a little fact-finding thing I'll have to do. But if that note is to Nathan, then it's... I honestly think that Mr. Jefferson and Nathan are in this mentor apprenticeship kind of thing, which would explain a lot about Nathan's condition, and would explain a lot about what's been going on, and why he's so fucked up. So that's kind of a thought. But considering that nobody has seen Nathan the entire time since the afternoon of him leaving campus, for all we know, he's probably dead. You know, he may have been ready to crack, he may have been ready to spill everything about Mr. Jefferson and his horrible methods and mentorship and what all else he's been doing. And that's probably why he's on all the drugs. Because he's under so much stress with everything that's going on with Mr. Jefferson. So Mr. Jefferson, like he did with Chloe, he shut him out so he wouldn't be able to say anything. And now he's probably going to end up doing the same thing with Max as he did with Rachel. Taking really creepy pictures and then burying her in the ground. All things considered, though, it may end up turning out that Nathan will be our hero. You know, I don't know. Nathan may end up turning out to be our hero because he may actually be alive. He may have actually run away to escape Mr. Jefferson and not wanting to deal with the bullshit that he knows is going to happen at the Vortex Club party. And he may have just up and left. There may be an issue with Victoria, though, because with her, we made her aware of what Nathan was doing, what we thought Nathan was doing. So she's expecting that to happen. She's not looking out for any other threats. And since we've spread the word about Nathan being a little bit crazy and dangerous, if he is still alive, he's going to have no one to run to. Now, considering Victoria and how Nathan and her are getting along, I doubt that's really going to end up being the case regardless of what she said. But I have a bad feeling that what I said to Victoria was not a good thing. I can totally understand where we came from with the whole Nathan is doing all this stuff, because, I mean, I didn't really have much of a clue about Jefferson either. Until that big reveal. But I'm a little bit concerned about Nathan if he is alive and he comes back to Victoria or some of these other people and tries to get it out, to tell everybody what's going on, while Max is possibly stuck in the dark room. So I don't know about Nathan, but... And one of the things that... this is kind of a really random tie-in with real-world events, but there's a lot of stories about politicians and people in real places of power that are well known being forced to do something against their will that is considered a really horrible act by pretty much all of society, and then their act being recorded in some way, whether it's a photograph or film or something like that, and then being blackmailed into doing it again and again and again, with the acknowledgement that they will be performed a service, that they will do this and this and this for them, for the unknown party, and because of them doing that, the unknown party will not reveal the blackmail, the nasty whatever dark secret information that the politician or whoever was forced to do. And they're also going to get some financial or some other learning, quote-unquote, benefit. And I feel like that's what's been going on here. Nathan has... sorry. Mr. Jefferson... Why am I calling him Mr. Jefferson? That's a sign of respect. Fuck Mr. Jefferson has been... Jefferson has been... may very well have been extorting the Prescott family. Because Nathan does get I believe it's a message from his father asking why the hell is he spending so much? You know? Sean is trying to provide for all of Nathan's needs, but Nathan is just spending so much. And it's getting ridiculous. That's probably because Nathan is being blackmailed by Mr. Jefferson to give him money to finance Jefferson's campaign or whatever the frickin' flabbergook is going on with that one. So Jefferson probably has an extortion thing going on, and he's building up a Nathan blackmail portfolio. And then when that is finally revealed, the entire Prescott Empire gets shut down. And Jefferson is left on top of the world with all this money. You know, whoop-de-doo. So, I think that there's a lot of manipulation going on with Jefferson and Nathan right there. I don't know what's going to happen next episode. I hope that somehow we're going to be able to get out of it. And that, you know, the tornado, I don't know if that's actually going to happen, or if it's just going to end on the beach and scare the shit out of everybody. And a couple people that we don't like are going to get thrown into it as kind of a repentance for getting through all this bullshit kind of thing. Or if Max and everybody else is going to get wiped out in Arcadia Bay as a tornado comes through. Or maybe Max and a few other people escape, and then Arcadia Bay gets wiped out. And then Max goes back home to salt her never-healing wounds of losing Chloe and all that stuff. So... yeah, this was a very powerful episode, as the other ones have been. And this time I am not worried about the way they ended the episode. Was just absolutely horrifying. Chloe dies, and Max ends up as a captor of Jefferson, and who knows what the hell he's going to do with her. I don't think there's going to be any rape scenes or anything like that, but it's going to get incredibly violating as to what's going to happen. So... yeah. This episode hit me hard, as did the ending of the last one. But last episode, I was worried about Don't Nod taking the game in a very odd direction and kind of ruining how much they built up. That was obviously not the case. This was a fantastic episode, as much as it destroyed my emotional feeling for the time I was playing it. But I have no doubt that Don't Nod will manage to produce something that will top even this. I hope, with all sincerity, that the next episode ends on at least a bittersweet note. On a note that makes you feel okay. That doesn't leave you feeling like your entire world has just been taken away. Which is both of what the ending to episode 3 and episode 2 did. And episode 4, I'm sorry. And possibly episode 2, now to speak of it, because there is a possibility, a strong possibility, of failing to save Kate Marsh, which a lot of people did. And there's a huge amount of consequences that comes from that. And that probably leaves you feeling like shit too. And the bullcrap never ends. I feel so blessed that I was able to save her. I don't know that I would actually be able to do that in real life, but fingers crossed in case it ever comes up, which I hope it never does, because that is a shitty thing to deal with on all accounts, regardless of what part of it you're playing in. But yeah. Now, there is... episode 5 is coming out, they say, in about mid-October. Every single episode, with the exception of the first one, has been delayed, so I don't quite expect it to come out October 11th or 12th. I'm kind of expecting it to be a little bit delayed and come out closer to Halloween. But as far as playing that episode goes, there may be some issues as far as playing that, recording it, and releasing it in a timely fashion. You know, because with every single episode up to this point, I've been able to release recorded parts day of or day after the game came out. Because I'd see it in my Steam downloads list, I would play through all of it, record all of it, and then I'd edit it and render it and dump it out as soon as I could, which would usually, for the most part, it's been day after the episode release. But that's not... I don't think that's going to be the case with episode 5. I think there's going to be a bit of a delay as far as me releasing it. And there is a video that is going to be coming out where I will be talking about why that is. It's going to be in an update video. So keep in mind, just keep that in mind. Life is Strange episode 5 will be coming. Both on Steam and on my channel. I'm not sure when it'll show up on my channel. It's going to happen, though. It may be a bit later than day after release date. Just be warned. But that's a couple months from now, so doesn't really matter. Anyway, that is my thoughts and theories about what's been going on with this episode and what's been going on with the story, and a couple predictions as well. I sincerely hope that you guys enjoyed this entire playthrough up to this point. Some of the people who have been commenting have left some really interesting feedback, and I really appreciate it. We've been able to have some really nice conversation. But that is going to do it for now, guys. I will continue to record Thief Gold and Nosferatu the Wrath of Malachi. And I will see you guys in those videos. And in the next Let's Play, video, update, whatever it happens to be. Have a wonderful day, everyone. And take care. Bye for now.